Greetings to you, music lovers, thrill seekers, and conversationalists all across the fruited plain. Time once again for the award-winning, thrill-packed, ever-exciting, increasingly popular, and really growing by leaps and bounds Rush Limbaugh program here on the Excellence in Broadcasting Network. Great to have you here. We get back to phones. The telephone number, 800-282-2882, and the email address, lrushbo@eibnet.com. We welcome to the EIB network Mark Levin, who is, full disclosure here, a good friend, one of my best, and the author of the just released and already bestseller, Liberty and Tyranny, a Conservative Manifesto. Hello, sir, and welcome to our big and vast network.
You're not kidding. How are you, brother?
I'm pretty good. Never better. I'm in a foul mood the last couple of days with nothing to do with you.
Cheer up. Cheer up.
Yeah, I'm trying. Look, I don't want to overdo this, but as I said yesterday, people throughout my whole career have said, what can I read to learn what you know, and where can I go to find the intellectual truths of conservatism? And I've always had a book list that I give them, and I've always had a magazine list and so forth. And your book is now one-stop shop. Your book is the book not only to read for someone to read themselves, but to give to people. While it is, it's not too technical, it's got its intellectual parts, but it is readable, understandable, inspiring. It's a page turner, which is difficult for a book like this to be.
Well, as I was writing it, we talked frequently. On the weekends I was there, and you'd send me an instant message. Hey, Flea, what are you doing? I'm writing. Or what are you doing? It's 2 a.m. I'm writing. Because, I have full-time jobs, and this is the only time I can do it. And that's part of the reason it took so long.
No, you weren't just writing.
Well, I was thinking.
There's a notes section. You were researching.
Yeah.
You could have written a book that just regurgitates what's in your heart and what's in your mind. But you have backed it up here with the thoughts of the founders, with empirical evidence and proof of what's in your heart and what's in your mind, and that's the work. I mean, anybody can tell anybody what they think. To go out and get backup for us, for it is what took the time. And full disclosure, as I said yesterday, I mean, you were working on this for a year and a half, and it was there were times I know that it was arduous, but all the hard work has paid off. Believe me. And here's how I want to start with you on this.
Yes, sir.
Even now at age 58, I still consider myself naive, because throughout my childhood and my adult life, I just accepted that everybody living in America loved our country and appreciated the whole concept of America and understood it. Freedom, liberty, American exceptionalism. And my opinion of this, it wasn't due to nationalism. It wasn't because, I put a pin on my lapel or as I was born here or any of that. It was rooted in the way that I was raised, and then in the things that I learned, my appreciation for this country and what it is, how unique and rare it is in the whole history of human civilization. So I still have lots of difficulty today intellectually understanding. I get it emotionally, but I have difficulty intellectually understanding people natively born in this country who hate it, who want to destroy it, who want to remake it in an image that will cause it to not be what it has always been, which is the single greatest outpost and location for prosperity and security the world has ever seen. Can you help me to understand why there are people who hate this country and want to tear it down?
The key is to understand that there are people who are of that mindset. And if we don't understand it and we just think this is an academic debate or they're just slightly liberal or what have you, we're going to be devoured by it. We need to understand that these people do not share our view of liberty and individuality. They reject the Declaration of Independence, which talks about unalienable rights.
Who are these people?
These people are what I call the statists. They are not liberals, because liberal in the classical sense is the opposite of authoritarian. And I refuse to allow them to steal the language and use the language to attack us. You even hear Obama talking about investments. These aren't investments. It's nationalizing the private sector. It's massively increasing taxes to confiscatory levels. We have to deny them the distortion of the language and speak the truth. And look, here's the problem. They have abandoned the principles of the founding. Conservatism represents the founding principles. That's who we are. We embrace the Declaration of Independence. We revere the Constitution of the United States. They try to evade the Constitution and undermine it and construct something that's expedient, that advances their political agenda, which we cringe at. We need to understand who these people are, but frankly, I started writing this book because we need to understand who we are, that we need to have confidence, because we have some people preaching the abandonment of conservatism or trying to rewrite conservatism or trying to create some weird hybrid. And I just assume stick with Edmund Burke and Hamilton and Jefferson and Madison, because I happen to think they're smarter than these people.
Well, I want to get into the internecine conflicts in the Republican Party, the conservative movement, in due course in our discussion here. But if I gather from what you're saying is the motivations of these people really aren't necessary. All we have to do and understand is that we got to beat them.
Well, we need to understand that their motivations are not good, that they're destructive. I talk about the civil society, as have others in the past. The civil society is what we call organized liberty, or the social compact. And there are various elements to it. And this is the heart of conservatism. You know, that man has a spirit, that each man and woman is unique, that we have a duty to promote our unalienable rights and to protect them, that we have a duty to our families and ourselves to take care of ourselves, to contribute to charity, that we have a duty to support a just and righteous law that is stable and predictable. And I go into some of these things, and what the statist does is they believe in human experimentation. I'm not talking about Mengele here. I'm talking about taking society and turning it on its head. And this is why Edmund Burke was so crucial. He explained the difference between change as reform, which is what we conservatives believe in, reform that promotes and preserves the civil society, and change as radical innovation that destroys the civil society, that destroys the culture. And this is what we are fighting off. And so when people say we always say no, you're damn right we say no to destroying this society. Well, we have a lot of yeses to say, too, about liberty and free enterprise and all the other things that are one linked to the other. And if I might make a footnote, too, I keep hearing, well, there's the social conservatives, the free market conservatives, and the national security conservatives. No, they're not. In a civil society, you must have a moral order. Right versus wrong, good versus evil, just versus unjust, and means versus ends. They're not the same thing. And when we talk about moral order, you must have a moral order to have a rule of law, for the free market to work, to advance national security. There are not three branches to conservatism. There is conservatism.
And it doesn't need to be refined or reformed. It doesn't need to be remade or rebuilt.
Well, why would we surrender our core principles that have served this nation so well, that have served humanity so well? I mean, Americans have contributed so enormously to mankind. Why would we surrender those principles to these politicians who are only in office on a temporary basis, who are advancing their own political careers and their fairly radical agendas? Why would we make peace with such people, make peace with such a philosophy? Why wouldn't we take our case, be confident in our case, and take it to the American people? We can link it to current events. We can promote policies through it, but we can't promote policies that are not based on sound philosophy.